He's signed now finally, but were you ever worried that that may have not have happened, right? Say you, even if you get the win and you're not able to buy him out for whatever reason, was there something in the back of your mind? Because I can imagine that was something that's always niggling at the back of the times when he was on loan. It's like, oh, this is doing so well, we're getting it all together, it's all working good, but there's still this chance that we may not be able to have him. Or were you always reassured that, no, look, if you want him, we'll be able to get him?
Yeah, no, it was in the back of our mind. After the Masters 1-1, you know, it was a really good experience, and we were like Sentinels is an amazing org, and they said, you know, they're gonna do everything they can to make it happen if we want it to happen, and like we knew they're capable of it. But also we would like joke around, like, you know, like we don't know how long we have you, Tyson, let's make the best of it. And then like when we lost the stage 2 first open qualifier, we're like so sad because we thought like maybe this is the last time we're gonna play with Tyson, and to end it on that note is like really disappointing. But yeah, at the end of the day, we didn't know we were gonna get him for sure until after we won Iceland, that we got back into the ready room. We got back in the ready room, and like our manager was like, I have an announcement to make, and I got scared because he sounded so serious. I was like, is our manager leaving us or something? Like, no, like what's happening? Oh, we just won. And then he's like, you know, we've got Tyson, like Tyson's ours now, like welcome to the team. And so that was like a wonderful moment to add on top of the one.
That's like a double celebration in one. You love to see it for sure. Now, one thing that turned, I guess, a few heads was looking at the price tag of him. And would you say, because obviously Valorant is such a new game and where we're at in the scene right now, do you think it's a fair reflection of his ability and what he brings to the team?
I can't comment on what the price tag is officially, but you know, we're the best team in the world, and Tyson is probably the best player in the world. And so like Valorant is an extremely fast growing esport, and like I'm just happy at the end of the day that, like, you know, the deal was made, that Sentinels found the value in him, because, you know, we all really wanted to play with him and we want to like continue to dominate, you know. And I really believe in this vibe and like the individual skill as a team, just as people. We work really well together.
There's obviously no denying that he slotted into the roster well. He's a world-class player. But from your perspective as an IGL and you're working with him on this, what makes him so special?
He's super well-rounded. I mean, obviously his mechanical skill is probably the best in the world. He can get out of a situation that you should probably lose just out of his own skill set. But he's also really smart. I think that in like the micro game, making his in-game decisions, he knows how to have an advantage in a fight. He knows how to take certain angles and catch people in these off angles. And he's a good teammate. He has surprisingly good comms. You know, usually people say like, oh, this player's so talented, but like they lack in these areas. But no, Tyson has good comms. He's well-rounded. I think environment plays a big role too. You know, some players might not find the success despite having the talent in certain environments compared to others. And I think Tyson needed someone to kind of reel him in. I am a bit strict on him when it comes to like certain plays he wants to make, and like sometimes I'll tell him like, I want you to do this and this. So he's very open to it though. Like he's always like, if you want me to if you want me to do something else, or you want me to do this, then I'll do it. Like he listens, and I think we found like a really healthy balance of like, I'll let him have his freedom sometimes, but I'll also tell him like, hey, let's stick to the gameplay here.
Yeah, that's the thing. How do you balance, right, the moments where you obviously might see him popping off and be in his absolute world-class form, and then you also maybe want to run some different strategies or pull him back a bit? Like, is there something you look for specifically before you make that call?
Yeah, so if you look back like tournament Masters 1, we kind of just slotted him, made sure he was comfortable, let him do what he wants to, and we got away with it. Like outskilling a lot of the teams in Masters 1, we won that tournament pretty strongly, like with the 4 of us running a system. Then during the qualifiers, the regional finals, as we tried to add some structure, we were like having a bit of a struggle or like a rough time trying to find the balance between, you know, these individual plays as well as like playing as a team. And so we kind of just, it's like through trial and error. It's like, you know, let him do these plays in practice and in these situations and see which ones work, see which ones I like, see which ones we can improve on, or how we can help him, how we can like build the round around it and help him, like, you know, have an advantage in this like play or aggression, or how we can just like reel it back and like trust the rotations, trust the protocols or the system. And so I feel like by the end of the quarantine, even with the scrims in Europe, that we found like a really good balance of what was working for us.
And how different would you say your gameplay and your game style changed from when you didn't have him in the roster to where you guys are at now? Like, could you see a lot of small changes, or were they maybe more drastic?
It's definitely changed a lot. I feel like, especially like with me on the silver role now, being able to IGL, I feel like I'm more on the back line too. I'm setting up a
Yeah.
dart, I'm setting up the round, and I'm playing to close the round more so than before. I was kind of the one like trying to make the space. Like I had a vision for the round, so I'm gonna set the pacing. I'm gonna dash in. I'm gonna go for this entry. But now I've got like the others kind of setting the pacing off of like what I call, and it's a different dynamic, but we've seemed to make it work. I mean, when you've got a player like Tyson that's gonna like start the round with an engagement that's gonna open up your round, it definitely makes our job a lot easier too. You know, like all the credit to him. He's just a phenomenal player.